Hi, I'm with Carol Bettencourt, who's the Vice President of Marketing at Chyron. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Excellent. So, what are the biggest technological challenges currently facing sports broadcasters?
Well, as you know, broadcast technology is always changing, and it's always a challenge to adapt. Some of the current things that people are trying to adapt to, trying to embrace, trying to sort out how they might be useful: AI, cloud, and lots to do with data. As far as AI, sometimes that's looked at as an intruder, a job snatcher, but sports broadcast is probably the most intense kind of broadcast that there can be. It requires a great deal of operator skill. The graphics have to be top-notch. They have to be as engaging as the play itself. The data has to be integrated, and the operators, the live operators, have to know not only the technology, but know the game. And given all of that, it might seem counterintuitive to say an AI can do instead of a person. However, AI can magnify what the person is capable of. For example, at Chyron right now, we're heavy into AI-driven sports replay. So the AI can recognize when there's been a shot on goal or another important play, instantly create a replay clip that starts a few seconds before that, goes a few seconds after that. That doesn't displace the skill of the operator. It's merely a tool for them. They can change the in and outs. They can have more time to illustrate it because they're not fiddling around with the in and outs, or they can discard it altogether. If they don't like it, they can create more replay clips. And then there's other examples as far as fan reactions, informing what we should put in a highlight reel, AI-driven player tracking, AI-driven calibration for various virtual placement, those offsides lines, the down and distance lines, or on-field advertising. So AI is very much a part of sports broadcast. Other challenges include adopting to the cloud, which again, sports presents probably more challenges than any other kind of live broadcast, which presents plenty of challenges as it is. But everybody is looking at cloud. How can it benefit me? And sports, with so many different things being in so many different locations, it really is a benefit to be able to have an operator from anywhere to cut down on those travel costs, not just the initial investment in infrastructure, in machines, in racks, but actually the overall operating costs are lower. Of course, there's the concerns around latency, concerns around security, but those are gradually being addressed with a vision towards what kind of encoding is used, what kind of encryption is used, coming up to best practices standards, and I think we're on the cusp of fairly large cloud adoption.
Excellent. I mean, graphics have been shown to increase fan engagement and also create monetization opportunities. What does Chyron have to offer here?
Well, we have a lot to offer. One product in particular that I'd like to speak about is Chyron Live, which is cloud native, developed in coordination with AWS, and it is a single user interface that includes the legendary Chyron graphics, as well as switching, simply multi-viewer touch selection of your camera sources, and that AI-driven replay that we were just talking about. All of that can be monetized. You can monetize a replay. You can monetize a score. You can monetize a squeeze back that shows player stats. You can monetize player of the week stats. You can monetize all kinds of things to do with sports. And with this cloud native implementation, not only can the big players monetize what they're doing, but schools, those lower to mid-tier universities or club leagues, anybody who has a sport or interesting sports content can start to monetize it.
And looking ahead, what's next for Chyron? Can we expect to see any new solutions or enhancements? Because I was interested when you were talking specifically about AI, how long that obviously, as well as that is obviously going to be a big part of your development plan, utilizing AI
Correct.
to develop new solutions. So is there any additional light you can shine on that area?
A little bit, yes. We're known as a graphics company, but we've evolved just as the industry has evolved. Whereas 20 or 30 years ago, you'd think about what your camera is presenting and what kind of graphics you want to overlay. Now you're thinking almost in terms of a theatrical 3D production. What kind of virtual sets do I want? What kind of AI-driven or data-driven virtual elements do I want? what kind of replays do I want. All of that goes into the total production, and Chyron does provide not just the graphical overlays that it's known for, but the total visual package. As far as more AI development, we're really starting to look at it from a design standpoint. It's in early stages right now, and certainly, again, going back to what I said at the very beginning, not to replace anyone, not to replace an operator, but to give people options, to give people speed, to give people an easier, faster, better way to do things.
So it's evolution.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's according to customer demand. We're very customer driven. NBC Sports has driven a lot of our data innovations, as has the Madison Square Garden networks, and we're always looking to what the next customer
And can
wants.
you share any detail on what they're telling you they'd like you to do, or is that something you keep to yourself?
Well, we can't share a whole lot of details. I can say a little bit because we haven't really touched in this conversation very much about on data. And a lot of what we're doing with data is very customer driven right now. Of course, with sports, there are massive amounts of data, and almost any graphics provider can tell you that we can take a specific datum and tie it to a specific field in a specific graphic, and it will update in real time. It will always be available without any operator input. And that's all well and good. And then the next step is scalability, taking an entire table of data and figuring out how to apply it to an entire set of graphics or graphics package. Beyond that, we've now established ways to take an entire pipeline of data from a data provider and parse the code so that it can go where it needs to go, anywhere within a graphics package. And we're giving the live operators the ability to choose what data source they want to direct the graphics package to on any given day. So anywhere in the workflow and any level, any scope of graphics should be very data adaptable, if you will. It only makes sense. If I said to you, well, I have this great thing for creating visuals on air, but you're going to have to go to a third-party plugin or get a programmer to do the design, or you're going to have to go to a third-party plug-in or get a programmer to make your animations. That would make no sense. You would tell me, well, that's not how it's done. It should be built in, and we're at the point where graphics they come into that category as well. You shouldn't need, customers are demanding that it all be under the hood and readily available.
So you've got to provide a total
Yes.
holistic solution for your customers. Good.
Correct, absolutely.
Well, Carol, it's been fascinating talking to you. Have a great IBC. Have a great day today.
Thank you
for your time.
Thank you. Lovely chatting with you as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.